We begin this hour with more than 36 new Russian-related sanctions. The United States Treasury is targeting Russia's elites, including 7 Russian oligarchs and 12 companies they either own or control, as well as a state-owned weapons company and a Russian bank. 17 senior Russian government officials were also targeted. Among the list, Putin's bodyguard, his son-in-law, the head of Russia's National Security Council, and a former prime minister. The new sanctions follow last month's actions targeting Russian individuals directly linked to meddling in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. CBS News State Department reporter Kylie Atwood is in Washington with the details. So, Kylie, you're hearing that the list targets Russian President Vladimir Putin's inner circle. Why is this so significant?
Yeah, so on the whole, the U.S. here is moving to designate 38 Russian individuals and entities. And as you noted previously, that includes a Russian weapons company that is backing the Assad regime. But most significantly is that there are Putin allies that are on this list. We have his personal bodyguard. We have his son-in-law. We have someone who is the head of the Russian equivalent to the National Security Council here in the U.S. And the administration, the Trump administration, is saying that these people have a significant impact at being able to advance the Kremlin and his destabilizing activities. And so they are sanctioning, going after these individuals because they enable him to carry out such brazen, crippling activity worldwide. You know, he's supported the Assad regime. He advances violence in Ukraine and cyber activities, including meddling in the U.S. presidential election and activity we just saw recently with the poisoning of the former Russian spy in the UK. So all of those things have culminated and led to this list.
And your reporting seems to suggest that this is what is very different from last month's sanctions following the Sergei Skripal attack in England, the fact that this is targeting President Putin himself.
Yes. So after that poisoning incident, the U.S. moved to expel 60 Russians who they said were intelligence agents, who are essentially spies here in the U.S. under the guise of being Russian diplomats. And the U.S. said, the State Department said, that this action is going to make the U.S. safer. They don't want Russian spies here in the U.S., especially if they are possibly subject to being poisoned like the former Russian spy was in the U.K. Now we saw Russia fire back immediately and mirrored the U.S. action and actually expelled 60 American diplomats who landed back here in the U.S. just yesterday.
So, given that these sanctions seem to directly target the Kremlin, has there been a response from the Kremlin?
We haven't seen a direct response from Putin yet, but Russia is not known to hold its punches. In the past, when the U.S. has sanctioned Russian individuals and entities, we have seen Russia reply quite impactfully, quite immediately. So last summer, Congress moved to sanction Russia for meddling in the U.S. election, while Russia forced the U.S. to reduce its staff in all of the U.S. embassies in Russia by over 700 individuals. Obviously, that wasn't helpful to the U.S., so we'll have to see what the Kremlin decides to do here, because it's pretty assured that he is going to have some sort of a reaction, especially considering these people are so close to him and help him advance his agenda, which the U.S. is trying to go after here.
All right, Kylie Atwood, I know you'll be chasing that down for us. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Vlad.